In this video, I thought I'd show you how to do something that I discovered in Canvas. I've done a lot of videos recently using Inkscape, and this was just something I was playing around with and thought I'd try it, and it seemed to work, so I thought I'd show you how to do it. If this is the first video you've come across of mine on my blog, then I do have a YouTube channel. So this is my channel. You can click on videos and you can see all the videos and load some more, and that will show you all the videos that I've got on my YouTube channel. Or you can go into playlists where I've got them split into Inkscape, videos I've done specifically on the machine, videos I've done in ScanNCut Canvas. So that's just a little bit about my channel. And then just to go back to ScanNCut Canvas, this is one of the borders from within ScanNCut Canvas that I separated, here it is, and made it into this design. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Now you may have another way of doing this, but this is just the way that I've figured out how to do it. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to work with all these borders that are in here, but you can give it a try. So I'll go to create new project. I'm going to go to the border section and choose a border. So I think we'll try this one. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to come back to the basic shapes and we're going to get a square, and then we need it to overlap, and I'm going to drag it out so it's in the middle of these two designs here. Then I'm going to right click and duplicate this square, and I'm going to bring another one over here, position this so it's in the middle of these two, and drag this one out past. And then I'm just going to zoom in and just try and line these up a little bit more. So basically what I'm trying to do is isolate this shape here, okay? And I've just put a box around the bit I don't want and a box around the bit I don't want here. So I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything, and I'm going to come up here to remove overlap. Then I'm going to select this box and hit delete on my keyboard, and select that box and hit delete on my keyboard, and I'm left with this shape. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to come down here to the circles, and I'm going to hold my shift key down. I'm going to drag a circle out to about 5 inches or so. It's not vital. I'm just going to use this circle as a guide to align these shapes. So I'm going to click on my shape, and I'm going to bring it down so its bottom edge here sits just on top of this circle. And again, this isn't vital, it's just a guide. While that's selected, I'm going to right click and hit duplicate. So I've got a duplicate here. And while that's selected, I'm going to go to edit, flip, vertical. Then I'm going to bring this one down and put this one somewhere near this bottom line. As I say, this isn't vital, it's just a guide. Going to select my first shape, hold my shift key down, and select my second. So the only two things I've got selected now on my page are these two shapes, not the circle. I'm going to go to edit, align, and center, and that just centers this one with this one. While they're still selected, I'm going to right click and hit group. So they're now a group. And then I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything and go edit, align, center again. And I don't know if you could see it on the screen, but basically this and this that are a group have now aligned with this circle. So I'm going to select my shape, and this is where it can be a little bit hit and miss. As I say, you need to play with this. I'm just showing you the technique. And as I said at the beginning, I can't guarantee it will work with all the borders. So while this is selected, I'm going to hold down the Alt key on my keyboard, and I'm going to get hold of this circle on the top here, and I'm going to move this out, which, because I'm holding the Alt key, creates a duplicate for us. And I'm just going to align this corner here. If I zoom in, I'm just trying to align up where this corner and this corner meet. But you may have to adjust this, or I may have to adjust this in a few minutes anyway, so we'll see. So I've got that position there for now. I'm going to hold the Alt key down on my keyboard again and grab hold of this circle and left click and drag another one out and let go. Then I'm going to hold the Alt key down again, drag hold of this one and drag that one out, and then hold the Alt key down again and bring another one. Okay, now if you look at this here, if I zoom in on this corner, they're aligned there, but if you look at this one, they're not here. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. And then all as I'm going to do, I'm going to select this last one, and I'm not holding anything at all other than I've just got this selected. And I'm going to hover over it, and I'm just going to move it slightly so we get a little bit of an overlap here. Then I'm going to come back to this one and adjust this one ever so slightly, and this one, and then this one. As I said, it's not you know, an exact science this. It's just a case of playing around with it until you get the look that you're after. I'm going to select the circle and move that over there for now. I'm going to drag an imaginary box around these shapes, and I'm going to go weld. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so that's now welded. I'm going to fill this with colour so you can see, because you get a better idea of when it's in colour. So that's kind of like a frame now. Then I'm going to right click and duplicate and bring my duplicate over here. Select my circle, put my circle back on top and hold the shift key down and drag my circle out so it's a bit bigger. And then select both of these, and while they're both selected, I'm going to go to Edit, Align, Center and Middle, because what I'm trying to do, you can't see this circle, I'll fill it with a colour. I'll fill it with red and then it stands out better. But what I'm trying to do is fill this gap here that's white. I'm trying to fill it with this circle. Okay? So I'm going to drag an imaginary box around this black frame and the red circle, and I'm going to hit weld. And now that's filled that in for us. If I take the colour out of this, you'll see what I mean. It's solid in the middle, so it's a complete solid shape. Okay, so that's two designs made from a border. Now, I'm going to right click this one and hit duplicate and bring it down here. And while I've got this one selected, I'm going to come up here to the offset, and I'm going to leave it on outward and on its default and click OK. Okay, I'm going to click anywhere on the page to deselect and drag the frame out of the way. I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it, because I've got one here. And then this one, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make it red just so you can see it. I'm going to fill its outline and its middle with red. So you've got three designs there from a border. You could layer that. If I right click on this and bring it to the front, you could layer that on top of there. You could put this one, bring this one to the front again, send this one to the back, whichever, there you go. You could layer that on there. So that's one idea. I'm just going to layer these up. In fact, I'm going to change the colour of this one just so it's clear to see all three on the screen. I'm going to layer that one on top of there. Drag an imaginary box around them all. And I'm just going to right click and group so that I can just shrink them down just to give me some space on my page. So that's there. So now if we go back to the borders and we'll choose another one. We'll try this one. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up here to our basic shapes, drag a box, or select a box, I should say. Drag this out so that you've got to cover everything that you don't want. So while this box is selected, I'm going to hit duplicate, bring this box over here, drag this one out so that one's covered. Then I'm going to click this one again, click this one to select it and just drag. I only want a little bit of the tail here. Drag that one over, select this one, drag that one over, then select all of those. While they're all selected, click remove overlap. Okay, select your box and hit delete, and select this box and hit delete. Come down here, get a circle. Just going to drag the circle out using the shift key, holding the shift key down and dragging it out just to make it bigger so you can see it on screen. Bring the bow on top of the circle just so it's just above. Select the bow, right click and hit duplicate. While the duplicate's selected, go to edit, flip, vertical. Bring that one down here, put it just above the circle again. While that one's selected, hold the shift key down and select this one. They're now both selected. Edit, align, center. So that's centered the bows to each other. Right click and group. So they're now a group. Then I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything, because I want to align the bows, which are now a group, to the circle. So edit, align, center. I'm just going to bring them up into the middle of the page so you can see them better. So they're all centered to each other now. I'm going to select this, hold the Alt key down on my keyboard and do exactly the same as I did before. Drag these out and we'll just try a little overlap and see what happens. Let go. Hold the Alt key down, drag another one out, let go. Hold the Alt key down, drag another one out. See, this one doesn't quite match now, so we'll bring this one over. Then we'll select this one and we'll bring this one round a little bit. You just want it to overlap, and then we'll select this one. You want it to overlap so it welds. Might have to adjust this one back a little bit. You just have to play with it. As I say, it's not an exact science. Move the circle out of the way. Select all the bows. Hit weld. Hopefully they'll all weld together. Yeah, looks like they've all welded. We'll fill that with colour so you can see it better. There you go, so you've got a bow frame now. I'm going to bring this circle back in. I'm going to fill this circle with colour just so you can see it. It's only for the video, you don't have to do this. I'm going to bring this circle back in and I want to fill this space that's in the middle now. So I'm going to hold the shift key down and drag my circle out. Select both. Edit, align, center and middle. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but we'll see in a minute. I just want to select the bows and right click and make a duplicate before I do anything. Move them out of the way. And then we'll select these two and see what happens when we weld them. Okay, that's not bad. I'm going to make that one, no, I'll leave that one as it is. And while that's, I'm going to select that, right click and hit duplicate. Bring the duplicate down here. While the duplicate's selected, I'm going to change its colour just so you can see it better on the video. Make it red. And then we're going to do the offset on this. So we're going to come up here, click on offset, leave everything as it is, and let it create an offset for us. There you go. Move the offset out of the way, delete this one. Okay, so I'm going to select this one now. I'm going to fill this with a different colour just so you can see it. And there's another design. Again, you could layer this one. I'll just right click and bring this to the front. You could layer this on top of there. Or you could bring, I'm going to right click and bring this one to the front because they all seem to be at the back. You could put that one on top of there. There's all sorts of things you can do. I'm just going to change the colour of this one. I'm just going to select this one and change the colour of it so you can see it better on screen. And then you could layer that. So there's all sorts of things you can do. I'm going to select everything and just bring that back into there and bring this one back into here. So I hope you found that helpful. To resize these, you have to group them. So if you drag an imaginary box around your designs, however many layers you've got, and right click and hit group, you can then hold your shift key down and drag your shape in to resize it. And then obviously you would save it. Now you may want to ungroup it and separate it to save it within Canvas, or you may want to leave it all together. Obviously this one's grouped. I'd save this on a separate mat, but you know, you can save as many designs as you want really. I'm just going to give it a name up here. I'm just going to call it border circles and save it. And then it's saved within Canvas. And then you can, once it's saved, you can just download it using the button here, put it on your USB stick and put it into your machine and cut it.